promised blessing. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice. This reassurance from God is given to people facing desperate times. We encounter fearful and frightening environments that swirl around us in our nation today, and we long to see Him heal our land. God is faithful no matter how we feel. He knows our needs. God is our strong support, and He can bring comfort, peace, and healing to our nation. Turn your hearts towards God and pray on behalf of our nation. Happy Republic Day. We have already completed 6 chapters in economics, and today we will be starting with the 7th chapter, Indian economy. And I feel it is the right and the apt time to study about our country. So on this Republic Day, we will learn more about our nation and our economy. Indian economy, chapter 7. So first let us study about economic growth and development. A country's economic growth is usually measured by national income. So how do you measure the growth, the economic growth of a country? It is measured by national income. How do we measure our growth? We measure it very often, is it not? We have scales to measure our height. We say 5 feet or 4 feet, 5 feet and 3. That's how we measure our height, and we also measure our weight. Likewise, a country's economic growth can be measured by the national income, which is indicated by gross domestic product. The GDP is the total monetary value of the goods and services produced by that country over a specific period of time, usually 1 year. So what do you mean by GDP? In our country, we produce so many goods. For example, we produce cookers, we produce dress items, then laptops, computers, fridges, air conditioners, tube lights, shoes. Then we produce lipsticks, nail polish. Okay, there are so many goods that we produce. Cereals, vegetables, fruits. So all these goods, they have a value. Similarly, we have services also. The services given by a doctor, a teacher, an engineer. It has a value. So the monetary value of all the goods and services produced within a country during a specified period of time, usually 1 year, is called as gross domestic product. So each item produced in a country and the services which are produced in a country, they have a value, and we have to add the value of all these goods and services over a specified period of time. Maybe usually it will be 1 year. So this is only called as gross domestic product. So every year the country calculates the gross domestic product, and we can see whether our country is growing or it is stagnant, or what type of growth is seen in our country can be measured by measuring the gross domestic product. So this is economic growth. The level of economic development is indicated not just GDP, but by an increase in citizens' quality of life or well-being. So growth is measured by national income. But how is the development measured? It is not only the GDP, it is also indicated by the quality of life or well-being. So what is the quality of life of citizens in India? Are they above the poverty level? How is the standard of living? So economic development is indicated by GDP, and the quality of life or well-being of the citizens. The quality of life can be assessed by several indices such as Human Development Index, Physical Quality of Life Index, and Gross National Happiness Index. So the well-being can be measured in three ways: Human Development Index, Physical Quality of Life Index, and Gross National Happiness Index. HDI was created by a Pakistani economist Mahbub al-Haq in 1990. So it is a statistical tool used to measure the country's overall achievement in socio-economic aspects. Physical Quantity of Life Index was developed by a sociologist, Maurice D. Morris, in 1970. The Physical Quality of Life Index is an attempt to measure the quality of life or well-being of a country. Gross National Happiness Index was coined by the fourth king of Bhutan, Jigme Singhe Wangchuk, in 1972. So these are the indices which helps us to measure the quality of life or well-being. So we have seen two things here. Economic growth is measured by GDP, and economic development is indicated not just by GDP, but an increase in the citizens' quality of life or well-being. The quality of life can be measured or assessed by several indices such as HDI, PQLI, and GNHI. Now let us study about our country, Indian economy. Indian economy is the 7th largest economy of the world. So our country's economy is the 7th largest economy in the world. This is according to 2016. But the latest one says that our country, Indian economy, is the 6th largest economy in the world. The first largest economy is United States, then it is China, Japan, Germany, United Kingdom, followed by India. So India is in the 6th position now, but according to the book, you learn it as the 7th largest economy of the world. In terms of industrialization and economic growth, India holds a robust position with an average growth of 7%. So the average growth rate of India is 7% every year. Even though the rate of growth has been sustainable and comparatively stable, there are still signs of backwardness. So even though the rate of growth is sustainable and comparatively stable, Indian economic growth rate is stable and we are able to sustain a minimum level. But still there are signs of certain backwardness which is seen in our country. So this table gives the GDP growth rate, this graph. Top 10 countries of GDP. This is according to 2016 statistics. First you have United States, China, Japan, Germany, United Kingdom, France and India. Now India has come to the 6th position and France has gone to the 7th position. What are the features of a developed economy? So, on the basis of the economic development, nations are classified as developed and developing economies. So, on the basis of the level of economic development, countries can be classified as developed and developing economies. What do you mean by developed economies? Developed economies are those countries which are industrialized, utilize the resources efficiently and have high per capita income. So countries which have more industries and they use the resources efficiently, and countries which have high per capita income are called as developed economies. So in the country land developed economies, USA, Canada, UK, France and Japan. Developed countries are also termed as advanced countries. On the other hand, countries which do not utilize their resources fully are called as underdeveloped economies. Example are Africa, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan and Indonesia. They are also termed as undeveloped countries or backward nations or third world countries. So based on the development, countries can be divided into two: developed economies and underdeveloped economies. Countries are industrialized, that is, we have more industries in developed countries. Countries are not industrialized. They use their resources efficiently. Efficient utilization of resources like land, mines, workers, etc. Here they do not use the resources properly. The per capita income will be high in developed countries, low per capita income in underdeveloped countries. Example for developed economies are USA, Canada, UK, France and Japan. Examples for underdeveloped countries are Africa, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan, Indonesia, etc. Developed economies are also termed as advanced countries. Underdeveloped economies are also termed as backward nations or third world nations. What are the features of developed economy? ஒரு country நல்லா டெவலப் ஆயிருக்குன்னா அங்கே என்ன ஃபீச்சர்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கும்? High national income. The national income will be high. Per capita income will be high. How do you calculate the per capita income? National income divided by the population is per capita income. The standard of living will be high. Full employment of resources. The resources will be utilized fully. Then dominance of industrial sector. நிறைய industries இருக்கும். ஒரு developed countryனா industries எப்படி இருக்கும்? நிறைய இருக்கும். High level of technology, high industrialization, high consumption level. People will consume more. Their buying power will be more. So consumption will be more. High level of urbanization. What do you mean by urbanization? People moving from rural areas to urban areas. That is only called as urbanization. So, நகர்மயமாகுதல். என்ன ஆகும்? கிராமத்தில் இருக்கவங்கள எங்க வர ஆரம்பிப்பாங்க? சிட்டிஸ்க்கு வர ஆரம்பிப்பாங்க. That is only called as urbanization. That is an increase in the population of people living in towns and cities is called as urbanization. Then there will be smooth economic growth, social equity, gender equality and low levels of poverty will be seen. Politically, the country will be stable and administration will be very good governance. So these are the features of developed economy. So Indian economy, as already mentioned, is the 7th largest economy of the world. In terms of industrialization and economic growth, India holds a robust position with an average growth rate of 7%. Then even though the rate of growth has been sustainable and comparatively stable, there are still signs of backwardness which is seen in our country. So this is to do about our economy. In the next slide, we will be seeing more about the features of Indian economy, the strengths, the weakness of our economy. After a small break, I will continue with this slide, features of Indian economy.